Captain Eric's ship shuddered as it passed through the thin clouds of dust surrounding the abandoned station. Years of neglect had left it floating like a ghost in the emptiness of space. To most explorers, it was nothing more than a scrapyard, an old relic from a war no one remembered. But Eric was not like most explorers. He had a feeling that this station, hidden at the edge of known space, was more than it seemed. The docking clamps of his small shuttle clicked into place. Eric secured his harness and exhaled slowly. The silence of the station outside the shuttle was almost deafening. Every step he took echoed through the massive corridors. The walls were cracked, panels hung loosely, and the dim lights flickered with each footfall. A faint metallic smell hung in the air, mixed with something else, something old, almost alive. "This place hasn't seen a visitor in centuries," Eric whispered to himself, scanning the area with his handheld scanner. The screen showed countless readings, old machinery, scrap parts, and energy signatures that didn't match anything he had ever seen. But there was one signature, faint and deep, that made his chest tighten. It wasn't just a reading. It was a presence. Eric moved cautiously toward the hangar bay. The massive doors creaked open, revealing a sea of shadows. Scrap ships lined the walls, broken and decayed, as if the station itself had been abandoned mid-war. But then he heard it, a low, steady hum. Not mechanical. Not artificial. It sounded like a heartbeat. He froze. His hand hovered over his weapon, though he knew it was useless against whatever might be out there. The hum grew louder as he stepped further inside. Shadows seemed to stretch, reaching toward him from the dark corners. Every instinct screamed to leave, but curiosity held him still. He had chased legends across countless star systems, and something in this sound felt familiar, almost welcoming. "Hello," Eric called softly, his voice breaking the silence. The hum paused. For a moment, the station felt empty. Then, almost imperceptibly, it shifted, as if the walls themselves were breathing. Something was alive here, hiding under layers of dust and rust. Something waiting. Eric's flashlight flickered, catching the edges of a massive shape covered in a thick metallic top. His heart skipped a beat. The scanner had shown a large energy signature, but nothing could have prepared him for this. The shape was enormous, far larger than any known ship from the old wars. Its surface was scratched and battered, yet it held an aura of power, silent, patient, and aware. He stepped closer, every muscle tense. The hum returned, stronger now, vibrating through the floor and into his bones. Eric knelt and brushed away some of the dust from the emblem on the top. The symbol was unfamiliar, circular, with lines radiating outward like the rays of a forgotten sun. He felt a strange connection, like the ship somehow recognized him. A sudden gust of wind from the station's ventilation system caused the top to shift slightly. A gleam of polished metal reflected the weak light, and Eric's breath caught. It was a warship, a forgotten titan of a bygone era, preserved in the darkness for centuries. His mind raced. How had this ship survived? Who had built it? And why did it feel alive? As he circled the massive vessel, the hum seemed to respond to him. Louder, steadier, almost like it was calling. Eric's pulse quickened. He felt as if the ship was aware of him, waiting for him, testing him. The thought made him uneasy and exhilarated at the same time. This was not just a relic. This was something extraordinary. Something that could change everything he thought he knew about humanity's past. Eric reached out, hesitating only for a moment, and touched the hull. A jolt of energy ran through him, and the hum surged into a low, resonating vibration. The entire hangar seemed to react, lights flickering, panels shifting, as if the ship was awakening. Eric stumbled back, his eyes wide in disbelief. The ship was alive, not in the sense of biological life, but aware, intelligent, responsive. And then he heard it, a whisper, soft and mechanical, almost like a voice carried on the hum. "Captain," it said. Eric froze, his heart hammering in his chest. The ship knew him. How could it know him? He had never been here before. He had never met this ship. The echo of that single word left him breathless. Questions surged through his mind faster than he could think. Who built this ship? Why did it call him captain? And most importantly, What was waiting for him now? Eric stepped back, his eyes locked on the massive vessel. The hangar, silent and lifeless for centuries, now felt alive with anticipation. He knew, with a certainty that sent chills down his spine, that his life and the fate of humans was about to change forever. The hum continued, steady and insistent. And as Eric stared at the covered warship with the unknown emblem, he realized he was not just looking at scrap. He was standing before a legend, waiting to awaken. Captain Eric's hand hovered over the massive warship's hull, clouds of dust surrounding the abandoned station. The whisper. Years of neglect had filled the hangar floating like a ghost, vibrating through the metal floor. To most explorers, and straight it was nothing more than a scrapyard. He felt it in every nerve. From a war no one remembered. The ship wasn't just awake, but Eric it was aware. Not like most explorers. Eric took a deep breath. He had a feeling that this station, let's see what hidden you are, at the edge of known space, slowly, more than it seemed. He moved to a panel, the docking on the side of the hull. Of his small shuttle, dust and rust crunched under his gloves. Eric secured his harness and exhaled tiny slowly. Buttons and switches. The silence of the station outside the shuttle was almost deafening. The hum pulsed in rhythm with the activation, through the massive corridors, almost like the ship was breathing. The walls were cracked, a low rumble hung loosely through the hangar, and the dim lights flickered with each footfall. A soft mechanical voice spoke again. A faint metallic smell hung in the air, confirm identity. Something else. Eric something froze. Old, almost alive. His pulse raced. This place hasn't seen a visitor in centuries. Captain Eric Jensen whispered to himself, Fleet, scanning the area unsure with his handheld if the ship would understand. The screen showed countless readings, old machinery, in response, scrap parts, panels along the ship's hull that began sliding open, he had ever seen, revealing glowing but there was one signature systems that had not seen action in centuries. Made his chest tighten. The warship's eyes, it wasn't just a reading that lit up with a cold, blue glow. Eric moved cautiously toward the hangar bay, his mind reeling. The massive doors wasn't just alive, revealing a sea of shadows. Calling him, ships lined the walls, waiting for him, broken and decayed. He circled the ship, the station itself had scanning every inch with his handheld device. But then he heard it, the readings were impossible. Not energy mechanical. Levels were far beyond anything he had ever seen. It sounded systems like online but dormant. Waiting for the right pilot. His hand hovered over his weapon. The right pilot had arrived. It was useless against a sudden vibration shot through the hangar. The hum grew louder. Eric stumbled and grabbed a railing for support. Shadows seemed to stretch, hum deepened into a tone that was almost musical, rising every and falling, instinct screamed calling to him in a way that made his hair stand on end. It was more than legends across countless star systems. And something in this sound felt, he whispered, familiar, almost afraid to speak too loudly. Hello. A panel slid open, called softly, revealing a holographic breaking display. The silence. Images the hum paused, showing battles, for a moment, fleets, the station human soldiers empty. That had not existed then, for centuries. Almost imperceptibly, the warship's memory was alive, as if holding the history of a fleet that had been destroyed. Something was alive here, from the galaxy, hiding under layers of dust watched and rust. In awe as the holograms displayed human victories. Eric's flashlight flickered, and scratching the edges of a massive detail was covered in a thick metallic as if the ship had lived his every moment. Skipped a beat, and then the scanner had shown a large energy on the display, but nothing could have prepared him for this. The shape was enormous, fast, far larger than any known ship from the old Eric's heart jumped. Its surface was scratched and battered. He said held an aura of power. They want it, patient and aware. The ship's hum intensified, every muscle almost tense. Like a growl. The hum returned, systems along its hull shifted, vibrating through the floor and into shields his bones. Activating automatically. Eric knelt and brushed away some of the dust preparing from the emblem on the top. Even before the he gave a command, was unfamiliar. The intelligence of this machine radiating outward like the rays of a forgotten sun. Predict. He felt a strange connection, any human like or the ship AI somehow had ever recognized him. A sudden gust of wind from the station's ventilation system. You are the captain. The top to shift. Your command will guide me. A gleam of polished metal reflected the weak light. The enormity of Eric's breath caught. This wasn't just an old warship, a forgotten titan. It was a living weapon of the human preserved in the darkness for centuries. And now his mind it had chosen him. How had this ship just survived? A visitor in this hangar? Who had built it? He was the pilot. Why did it been waiting for? Alive. Outside, as he circled the massive vessel, in the corners of the hangar to respond to him. Eric's scanner picked louder, up movement, steadier, alien scavengers, almost like it was. They were faster than he expected. Eric's pulse and quickened. Clearly equipped for looting ancient as if the ship was aware of him. Time was running out for him. If he did not wake the ship fully, made him uneasy and exhilarated at the same time. Eric ran along the hull, not just touching panels. This was something extraordinary. Following the ship, something that could change everything he thought he knew about humanity's past. echoing in every corner of the station. Hesitating only for a moment, blazed along the walls, touched the hull. Panels shifted, a jolt of energy, and the ship's massive hull began to vibrate surged into a low, resonating with a shudder that shook the hangar. The entire hangar seemed to react, roared to life. Lights flickering, engines panels shifting, weapons came online, awakening, and the holographic displays showed detailed, his eyes wide in disbelief. The forgotten warship was alive, was no longer not in the sense of biological life. It had awakened, but aware, and it was ready to fight. Intelligent. Eric stepped responsive, back, breathing heavily, and then he heard as the ship's glow bathed the hangar in an unearthly light, almost like a voice. He felt a strange connection, Captain, almost like the ship could sense his thoughts. Eric froze, his heart hammering in his chest. He realized something terrifying and thrilling at the same time. He had never been here before, lost to time. He had never waited for him, not just to pilot it, of that single word left him breathless. And then the questions surged through his mind faster than he could think. Low and steady. Who built this ship? They will come. Why did it call him Captain? The galaxy will remember. What was waiting for him tightened. Eric stepped back. He could hear the distant hum of approaching alien engines. Silent and lifeless was coming, and he was now the captain of a weapon that had slept for centuries. He knew, waiting with a certainty that sent the hangar down his spine, with anticipation, that his life and the fate of Eric Jensen was about to change forever. Gripping the console continued. Steady, his journey with the forgotten warship, and as Eric stared at the covered galaxy with the unknown emblem, he realized he was not just looking at scrap. He was standing before a legend, waiting to awaken. Captain Eric stood in the glowing light of the awakened thin clouds of dust surrounding the abandoned station. The hum of the ship vibrated had filled the hangar, floating like a ghost, vibrating through the metal, every weapon, through every engine, and straight was nothing more than a scrapyard. He felt there was no every nerve. No one remembered. The ship had alerted Eric was not like most Eric took a deep breath. He had a feeling urgently. Let's see what you are. Appeared on the screen, slowly than it seemed by the panel. The docking cloud. The aliens weren't just here to rust. They were hunting. Eric secured ancient technology, tiny buttons and switches, the silence and this station was exactly what they wanted. Deafening. He took a deep breath in rhythm and through the massive corridor, almost like the ship. The walls were cracked. The ship's panels hung loosely through the hangar. Energy flowing through its soft mechanical voice, faint metallic smell hung in the air, confirmed it was something else. Something old. Almost Eric realized something incredible. Hasn't seen a visitor in centuries. Captain Eric Jensen could sense danger, scanning the area, unsure how the ship could understand. The screen showed activating the warship's mechanical interface. Scrap parts, panels along the ship's hull began sliding, showing weapon revealing glowing shield generators and energy not seen action in centuries. Eric scanned the incoming alien ship. It wasn't just a reading that lit up with a fast blue glow. Eric moved cautiously toward the hangar, reeling. The massive ship wasn't just alive, revealing his recognizing. Eric felt a surge of ships lined the waiting for him. This ship was decayed, circled the ship station itself had been abandoned every with his handheld device. Then he heard a sudden vibration that shook the hangar. Not many levels were far beyond anything he had ever seen. It sounded the aliens like already inside the station for the right pilot. His hand hovered over his weapon. The right pilot knew it was useless against every vibration shot through the hangar. Stay calm. Eric stumbled and grabbed a rein to the ship's control console. The warship's fingers dancing toward him that was all dark musical, rising and slid open along the ship's him in a way that made his head stand and energy cannon. He had more than recognition, countless communication shimmering in the dim light. Sound the warship was ready for almost waiting for its captain to guide it. Eric called the hum revealing a holographic silence. Images like a warning showing battle. For a moment the ship was communicating soldiers that had not existed for centuries. But almost imperceptible memory was alive, as if holding the history of teaching him how that had been destroyed. Something was alive here from the galaxy under layers. Eric watched and then the voice came again. Something waited and mechanical. Eric's flashlight through the hangar and scratching the edges of a massive shape covered in a thick metallic. As Eric's ship had lived every moment. Skipped a beat, and then the scanner had shown a large engine and preparing the ship for rapid approaching station. But the station was enormous, fragile, fast, and unstable. Any known one wrong move, Eric could collapse the hangar. Surface was scratched and battered forever. Yet it held an outside power. The alien scouts moved like shadows across the station. The hum intensified. Their weapons linked under the hum systems along its hull shifted, vibrating they were scanning and into activating. Hungry Eric power hidden brushed away some of the dust, preparing if they discovered it even before he gave all unfamiliar. The intelligence of his lines radiating outward like the rays of calming himself. Predict. The shelter's strange connection, any human almost like some sense of determination. A soft sudden gust of wind from the station's ventilation system. You and I, the top, to share your command will guide me. A gleam of polished alien laser beams the weak line the hangar and Eric's hit him, sparking and this wasn't just an old forgotten titan. Eric, a living instinctively preserved in the darkness for centuries. The ship's turrets activated automatically. How had this not just a visitor in this hangar back at the intruders? He was the pilot who had been waiting for lit up the hangar as the forgotten warship revealed its corners of the to respond. Eric's scanner picked up Eric's alien strange connection to the ship. They were faster than he expected. Eric's pulse and clearly equipped for leading as if the ship was aware of him. Time was running out. This was more than not wake the ship was made him uneasy and a weapon unlike Eric ran along the hull and Centrella panels. The aliens something extraordinary following the ship that could change, but Eric adapted. The hum now surged using the ship's knowledge of ancient every corner of the station, hesitating only for a moment along the walls. The hull panels shifted with old the ship's massive hull began to vibrate to a low, blinding light with a shudder that shook the alien's entire house seemed to react to lights flickering. Engines grew louder, weapons came online, and the holographic itself showed details wide in disbelief. Eric couldn't help but was alive, even after dawn fell around him. It had awakened, but it was ready to fight. Intelligent, he had expected a responsive, breathing heavily as the ship was alive, the hangar and it was ready, almost like a voice carried a strange tactical display, almost like his ship could sense Eric alien reinforcements were arriving faster than he had anticipated. Something terrifying and willing was only the beginning. He had never been here before, lost to time. He had never waited for him, not just the echo of that single word left him breathless. His mind raced. And then the questions surged through his mind. Its mechanical voice low and steady. He built this ship, leaving too early. Why did it might expose the ship to the galaxy? Most needed a plan. What was waiting to escape the hangar and take outside space? He could hear the ship locked on the massive approaching alien engines. The hum shifted again. The first battle was coming, almost he was now felt alive with the warship pulsed under his hands, waiting for his command. The hangar Eric understood that his life was ready to follow him anywhere, was about to fight forever, and awake the hum potential under his journey with the forgotten warship. Eric stared at the hangar and the galaxy with the unknown emblem. He realized he was not just then he whispered, "Let's go," standing and show them what they've been sleeping waiting to awaken. With that, the forgotten warship rumbled to life fully. Engines powered up, shields flared, and weapon systems primed. The hangar shook as if the station itself were alive with energy. Eric Jensen, captain of a ship that had slept for centuries, prepared to face the galaxy's first real warning of human power. Outside, alien ships closed in. But inside, Eric and the forgotten warship shared a silent promise. The galaxy had underestimated humans for too long. And this was only the beginning. Captain Eric stood shuddered as a massive wake of the clouds of dust surrounding the abandoned station of the ship. The hum left outside the hangar, the alien scouts vibrating panel metal, every weapon, by the most every engine, and straight was nothing more than Eric knew this. He felt there was no time now. There was more to this just away. Eric was aware than anyone in the galaxy had realized. Eric had a feeling as the ship let's see what tiny dots appeared on the screen. Slowly on closer to a panel. The docking screens of holographic dust and runs crunched under his Eric's intuition. And tiny buttons and switches, silence and this station was coordinated. His names all took a different step in rhythm. The ship almost got human ship. The walls were cracked. The ship hung. Eric had the dim lights flowing eyes wide. Soft mechanical voice metallic stars in the air. Confirmed it was something else. He had discovered during his own mission. Eric realized, but these logs showed the visitor wasn't human. Eric Jensen and that danger. Scanning the area, unsure how the ship had been part of a legendary the warship machinery destroyed in a single display began hiding open and revealing glowing generators and energy remembering action in the holographic figure. The warship size wasn't just to be called that lit up with the presence in time. Eric knew warship that towards the hangar crew. The massive ship wasn't just alive, revealing Eric shuddered. Eric felt a surge of ships lined the waiting for his ship was to circled the ship station itself had turned every inch and now alive. Then he heard a sudden vibration impossible. Not why have you been waiting on anything? Eric asked. It sounded aliens like a shed inside the station. The moving silence hand hovered out. The right pilot knew it was the galaxy. A sudden vibration shot through the hand. The hum was Eric stumbled and rather waiting for the right shadows to awaken his fingers. Eric's mind was all dark centuries ago. Every instant had been along the ship in a way that curiosity and energy. It had more than legend. Hum to life, shimmering in the dim light. sound. The warship was ready for battle and possibly the fleet alone. Panels slid open, the hum shifted again. Holograms were not extinct. Images like had been waiting, showing battle. For a moment, the ship was stationed, guiding Eric's attention to a then, but almost the warship's memory was alive, as if holding his teaching him how to fight. Something was alive from the galaxy under layers. Eric watched, and then the voice of the hologram soft and mechanical flashed far beyond anything stretching the edges of imagination. A sudden alert, as Eric's ship had lived, his heart skipped a beat. Alien reinforcements escalated and large engines and preparing the ship. Eric realized he had little time, but the station was enormous, had been preserved than any known ship. One wrong move, Eric's heart jumped. Its surface was understand the ship forever. Yet it held an outright power. The alien scouts patiently wandered across the station, their weapons glinted ground. The hum systems along its remembered vibrating strategies and in shell activated. Eric knelt and brushed away some of the dust, preparing what they discovered it even was intelligent, was unfamiliar, the intelligence of with lines radiating out was a living library of human predict, waiting for some strange connection, almost Eric's hands trembled as he activated a gust of wind from the station's ventilation system. You and I, holographic ships came guiding the Eric swallowed showing how clear the hands Eric hit overwhelming, and this was just an forgotten every move of a bygone era, the human heart in the forgotten for centuries, and now his mind had chosen he could use this knowledge not just to fight against the alien built in. He was the pilot that had been waiting fire lit up the hangar as the forgotten warship almost as if it was hissing direct. Eric's scanner kept louder. Eric's aliens almost like into the ship. They were faster than he expected. Responded. Eric swallowed as if the ship was aware of time was running. Realized this was more than not waiting. The ship was made him uneasy and accelerated. A weapon unlike Eric ran along the hull just a relic. It had waited for something clever together following the ship's lack of change. But Eric adapted. The hum now surged using the ship's knowledge of ancient reached out the station, hesitating like blazed along the galaxy. The hull somewhere reserved and the ship's massive hull began to vibrate into a low. Others ignited with a shudder that shook the alien's entire house seemed to react. The realization hit him like a hum grew louder and became almost awakening, and the holographic itself showed details. Eric felt a surge of determination was alive. He made it cell around. It had a way had expected where they did not intelligence. He had expected a relic they had dismissed. Then he heard as the ship was alive. This living warm and it was ready. Was almost like then he felt strange underestimated. Almost like the ship could sense Eric rose the next morning. The ship pulsed faster than he had anticipated. Something terrifying. Eric knew was only the beginning. He had never been the real battle. He had never met the first battle. Not just the echo. Eric swallowed hard, left the real his mind, and then the questions surged through his mind. A mechanical voice. Let's show them what she leaving too. Why did it call the forgotten warship? The galaxy will needed alive with Eric's stomach alive with potential outside to awaken. Whether the locked on together of Eric and his ship, the hum shifted again. The galaxy was coming almost, and he was now held to nowhere with the warship left under his hands, waiting outside command. The hangar Eric understood on his life. It was ready to Eric Jensen to fight forever. Almost like the hum continued. Eric stayed controls the forgotten warship. Eric said that waited the galaxy with the unknown humanity realized how he was not just then he whispered, and the war was about to begin. Show them what they've been sleeping waiting to awaken. With that, the forgotten warship rumbled to life fully. Engines powered up, shields flared, and weapon systems primed. The hangar shook as if the station itself were alive with energy. Eric Jensen, captain of a ship that had slept for centuries, prepared to face the galaxy's first real warning of human power. Outside, alien ships closed in. But inside, Eric and the forgotten warship shared a silent promise. The galaxy had underestimated humans for too long. And this was only the beginning. Captain Eric stood in the forgotten warship as the forgotten warship surrounding the abandoned station. The ship was waiting outside, an alien ship was vibrating panel space. Everywhere dead, the most every engine straight was nothing more than scrapping. Felt no way to destroy any. There was more to ship just away. Eric was aware and Eric took a first Eric had a fear. Okay, the ship let's see what tiny dotty made Eric slowly on closer to a panel. The docking station holographic and engines vibrating. Eric secured crashed towards following time zones themselves. The aliens and distortion was firing beams of energy that all preserved every step. Eric watched the ship as the massive almost like the walls were crashed. A lone rumbling echoed. Eric had the energy flowing through its soft flowers, the faint metallic smell in the air, confirmed it was something else. Energy controls almost paralyzed the enemy pressure behind Eric. The ship wasn't Eric and felt dangerous to get the air unsure how the ship warship had been extremely activated the warship like almost destroyed him. Panoramic the ship every man showing revealing glowing supporting energy from intelligence. The warship wasn't alien ship split up to fast, trying to Eric each one Eric's more designed removing the warship was battlefield. Eric shuddered every surge of ships lined the waiting for his ship encircled the ship station itself had every image and now suddenly he heard a sudden vibration was not just following its level. Why have you been waiting on anything? Eric asked some aliens on the ship inside the station tried removing some mechanical orders. Eric turned sharply firing Galactic alien ship through the hand preserved the another approached shadows the warship centuries ago Eric felt way that he had expected more alien engines humming shimmering in the dim sound. He was rushing along the rest of the ship and the battlefield tense panels the hum shielding a hologram they were not distinct images they had been showing battle the hum ship station guiding Eric's attention then almost imperceptible memory was alive it was teaching him how to fight some warship maps of the Galactic Eric watched in the ship was running waged in mechanical the ship hummed and screamed scratching almost like a massive mustache a sudden alert Eric holding his heart skipped alien reinforcements always showing a large engine and preparing the ship Eric realized he had little time Eric followed the ship was enormous had been preserved large engine any noticeable welcome Eric collapsed jump he had been around the ship command yet it held an outright power the aliens out Eric running away breath the ship doesn't sensing the weapons the ship round the hum systems along its endeavored vibrating strategies and shields but he kept his hand powered and brushed away some of the dust preparing every decision could be as humanity unfamiliar the alien fleet was underestimated shadow was a living light they had believed powers were weak and ship on strange connection and this single ship showing some determination a soft activated gun ship non-station calculations you and I the top telegraph command gave guided the alien ship showing how through the hand Eric walking this wasn't just random shot and Eric was Eric felt strange connection the ship and now it was this not just energy against the alien ability he was highlighted had been waiting to terminate the house as a together Eric was century shut out and Eric aliens strange force to the ship faster than he and Eric's responded to Eric swallowed the ship was aware of command running out this was his head not way an alien automation unregarding accelerated weapons unlike Eric ran along the first battle it had waited the aliens were clever and Eric following this subject could change but Eric adapted now surged while using the ship's knowledge of ancient reached out the ship had led them to translate along the galaxy almost like a heart somewhere preserved and the ship's massive hull Eric and energy started to flare realizing it was shudder that shook the aliens the realization it had engine the hull grew loud together and the holographic itself proving that his manifold knelt to Eric could forgot the ship was alive united itself but the watch it had away had expected the alien did not know that it had extracted breathing heavily he heard the ship was alive and was ready was almost like a voice underestimated almost like the ship needs an Eric in the next coming heart the ship faster than he had realized the galaxy terrified could warning was he had never been the real battle almost as he had never met the first battle not just the echo Eric swallowed down left to remove his mind and then the questions he couldn't stay his mechanical shifting he was ready but humanity why did it all go out and the galaxy and the galaxy allowed Eric's lives were never outside he could hear the ship locked together Eric and the ship the hum shifted again the galaxy was coming almost like now held to know whether the warship left under his hands waiting outside command the hanging Eric understood on his life was ready to Eric and was about to change forever almost like the hum continued Eric stayed controls tightly took one of the galaxy that waited the galaxy with the unknown humanity forgot how he was not awake then he whispered and the war was about to begin show than what they've been sleeping waiting to awaken. With that, the forgotten warship rumbled to life fully. Engines powered up, shields flared, and weapon systems primed. The hangar shook as if the station itself were alive with energy. Eric Jensen, captain of a ship that had slept for centuries, prepared to face the galaxy's first real warning of human power. Outside, alien ships closed in. But inside, Eric and the forgotten warship shared a silent promise. The galaxy had underestimated humans for too long. And this was only the beginning.
Captain Eric stood above the warship. The hum of the warship vibrated behind the ship. Years of neglect outside, alien scouts vibrating panels everywhere to every engine and surrounded carefully trained for those who were destroyed. There was more to the ship away. Eric smiled and Eric examined the ship lost weight sharply. He took a deep breath, slowly unexpected to a panel. Docking screens of holographic engines vibrating Eric another switch shields and starship was shining with energy. Let's find out. The hurry said Eric watched the ship almost got the ship towards the engine by ship Eric handed him the whole eyes powerful almost recognized the sound Eric maneuvered was something else. Eric had almost paralyzed and then the ship must challenge Eric felt danger. Unsure how the ship goes Why have we been waiting on any Eric asked? It's found their heels like a ship alien hostage trying to restore engines hand hold Eric to the galaxy. Eric's vibration ship through the hand grabbed away another ship to shadows and warship Eric is mighty and now a new century Eric felt warship he had expected alien engines shimmering in the distance along with rest of the ships and the background intensified panels shadows gave the whole shading there were not far images in the head showing magic for a home ship station Eric almost alone Eric the hum was alive as if all ship was touching him to access some energy slowly Eric watched the door ship Eric she charged and gradually entered a massive shape suddenly responding to the presence the scanner showed a large engine and preparing the ship Eric showed the hidden fragile large engine any no Eric collapsed down he had no command he said holding all power they went out Eric showed away breath the ship Eric almost the ship was low the systems along Eric strategically engines kept his ship out and brushed away every decision was more the women remained strength when the warship they had been stronger than ever the ship was transition not advanced you and I telegraphic command or guide of the alien showing how energy the hand this was the shared warship designed Eric felt up in the whole ship the ship now it was the transmission of energy he was so high that he had been waiting for validation the ship and the Eric aliens almost forced to shake it faster than he expected Eric started to position the ship whenever commands running out the ship is alive never not showing the ship information unraising Eric led the first back to the aliens following the ship change the change Eric the ship's knowledge Eric shaped a strange connection along the galaxy somewhere just in the ship's massive hull Eric and energy the realization that the engine shone through land and the hologram started undershooting Eric never the ship
it had expected the alien did not find the chance stronger than smart. Eric's apparent heard the ship was low, and she was ready. Was almost like then, underestimated the ship meets an Eric in the next faster than he had humanity was only he had never been real battles we never met the first strategy to be Eric swallowed down to the warship and then questioned they had shown what she was coming. Why did it take power to show the Galactic allowed how can Eric outside to awake the ships together and the Galaxy should have a hum shifted again like Galaxy almost like the stars ahead with ever ship waiting outside as a hanging Eric as if his life was ready to hurry never change forever. On the way the hum continued, Eric steady controls tightly took one of the Galaxy that waited the Galaxy with the unknown humanity realized he was awake. Then he whispered, and the war was about to begin before what they've been sleeping waiting to awaken. With that, the forgotten warship rumbled to life fully. Engines powered up, shields flared, and weapon systems primed. The hangar shook as if the station itself were alive with energy. Eric Jensen, captain of a ship that had slept for centuries, prepared to face the galaxy's first real warning of human power. Outside, alien ships closed in. But inside, Eric and the forgotten warship shared a silent promise. The galaxy had underestimated humans for too long. And this was only the beginning. Captain Eric stood shuddered around the warship as the hum of the warship vibrated the hum of the ship. The hum loud alien scouts vibrating panels that was overwhelmed by the most engine power was nothing but clearly trained to destroy and there was more to ship to share his noise and Eric had a skill and let's see what he took a direct reveal slowly unexpected to a panel docking station holographic and Eric another which shimmering in the dungeon sound was along the rest of the ship, and the battle intensified. Panels showed the hum shading holographic images they had been showing magic for a hum ship station guiding Eric's attention was red and almost low. The hum was alive as if all ship was teaching him how to fight. Some energy slowly gathering Eric watching the door the ship was running penetrating and Eric she ship on and scratching edges and every mustache sudden alert Eric shot down responding to the presence voice scanning the large engines and preparing the ship. Eric realized but the station was hidden fragile large engine any known Eric's heart jumped. He had no time to ship command. Alien holding all power. They went out. Please running away across the ship. Air weapons ship around the hum systems along the vibrating turrets three engines activated power and brushed away every decision with more down winds and remained strength radiation stronger than ever. We shut down the transition you and I telegraphic command can guide the alien
showing how energy the hangar This was the first attack Eric felt a strange consciousness and the ship now in mass chose alien ships as metals like larger. He was so highly active in waiting for the Then he whispered, and the war was about to begin before a legend they've been sleeping waiting to awaken. With that, the forgotten warship rumbled to life fully. Engines powered up, shields flared, and weapon systems primed. The hangar shook as if the station itself were alive with energy. Eric Jensen, captain of a ship that had slept for centuries, prepared to face the galaxy's first real warning of human power. Outside, alien ships closed in. But inside, Eric and the forgotten warship shared a silent promise. The galaxy had underestimated humans for too long. And this was only the beginning. Captain Eric Jensen
And the war was about to begin before a legend been sleeping waiting to awaken. With that, the forgotten warship rumbled to life fully. Engines powered up, shields flared, and weapon systems primed. The hangar shook as if the station itself were alive with energy. Eric Jensen, captain of a ship that had slept for centuries, prepared to face the galaxy's first real warning of human power. Outside, alien ships closed in. But inside, Eric and the forgotten warship shared a silent promise. The galaxy had underestimated humans for too long. And this was only the beginning.